Good morning. Actually, it's not morning. It's 2:38 p.m. I kind of slept in today. A few months ago, I made a video called I'm going all digital with my games or something like that. And I've been known to flip-flop back and forth. So, one thing I realized when I went, when I decided one thing I realized when I decided to go all digital with my games is that I liked holding the stuff and like actually looking at the artwork and displaying it. So, I missed that enough to decide to get back into physical collecting. So I've got a chunk of stuff here. Now, I do have more stuff that I've had for like a couple of weeks. And I'm not going to be showing that off in the video, but these are some recent pickups that I got. And I got newer stuff, I've got older stuff, primarily older stuff because I'm just not really that interested in a lot of new games. I did buy from a reseller on Whatnot. I have said in the past that I don't really like Whatnot, but you know what? Now that I've used it and had a great experience with it, I kind of feel like it could be a good place to get games. I don't think that you should go on Whatnot and buy from a YouTuber, though, because those groups are like their fans will pay whatever just because it's who it is. You know what I mean? So I was recommended a seller on there that's trusted from a guy that I've known for basically half my life. And this seller was good, man. It was a great experience. And some of the stuff's kind of sprinkled in here. I can't remember exactly what came from who, other than a few notable things. But I do know that this came from the dude on Whatnot, Pokemon Shield. I think I paid $20 for this. So, I mean, that was a great deal. And I really love this generation of Pokemon. I know a lot of people said Sword and Shield kind of sucked, but I think I owned Sword a couple years ago, and I put like 140 hours in that game. The very first generation of Pokemon where I completed the Pokedex, thanks to a couple of friends, helping me along the way. But I had to pick this up for $20. Battlefield 4, I picked this up at GameStop for like $2.99. So this is like one of the best shooters of modern times. So for $3, that's a done deal. You know what I'm saying? But I never completed the campaign in this. I think one time I tried to do it and there was like a part with a helicopter, like kind of towards the beginning. And the timing on it is so damn hard. I don't know if a lot of people were able to get past that because I don't consider myself a noob. I've been on the sticks my whole life pretty much. Here's another one, $4.99 at GameStop, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. So I don't play multiplayer on this game, even if there are people that play it. It's actually in the Xbox right now. But I've been playing the campaign, and I am really surprised by the campaign in this game because, typically Call of Duty games, they kind of just shit through the campaign because it's all about the multiplayer, but this game's actually pretty tight. I think I'm about 4 hours into the campaign, and which is probably a little over half because they're typically 7 hours. Definitely going to beat this one, man. And then, because that one was so good, I ended up getting Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, which I've never played. But if it's got anything like that, if it's anything like this, like the quality that they put in the campaign into this, then this game is probably slapping too. So, and I've been trying to pick out certain franchises to collect for. Like I've completed a couple of different franchises now, which we'll get to in a minute. But Call of Duty is one that I'm trying to get every single one for currently. All right, now let's move into some good stuff. Really good stuff. So I got this about a month ago, the Super Nintendo Classic. I had one when they first came out and modded it, and it was great. But see, I used to have this bad habit of buying stuff, and then whenever I stopped using it, I'd just get rid of it. And I've done that with some things so many times. And of course, this thing's got 21 preloaded games on it, mostly bangers. I'm not really big on Earthbound, but it is a good game. Of course, I've added the additional games with the Heckin. Yeah, that was a great pickup. Next up, I actually got these next two items from Kreisky. Now, he sold me the box and manual. I got the bro price, and he's really good about shipping and stuff too. Now, I did put this in a plastic case. I've been trying to collect all the wrestling games. Now, you can see this huge shit right here. He told me about that before I bought it, so it's not like he was deceitful or anything, but it did come with the manual, and I ended up ordering the cart because it didn't actually come with the game, but I ended up ordering the cart from DK Oldies because I had coupons from when I spent all that money with them prior, so I was able to get a pretty fair price on 2 games from DK Oldies. But really cool. I also have No Mercy complete in box. Which I did not buy from a reseller or DK Oldies. Well, I didn't buy it from any reseller, you know. I bought it from a local shop. Now, this right here, one of my favorite video games of all time, Metal Gear Solid. It is the greatest hits version. I'm not one of those guys that cares about that. So, I also got this from Kreisky. And, dude, I'm telling you, it is like the discs don't have anything wrong with them. Like, they look damn near perfect. I don't know if you could really make that out on camera. But it might as well be brand new. And it's not resurfaced either. You know, a lot of collectors care about, is the game resurfaced or whatnot, whatever. As Kreisky, said, this is minty. And you know what? Super happy to have this in the collection. Because like I said, man, it's one of my favorite video games ever made. Me and my best friend beat this. I think I was like 7 or 8 years old at the time and was literally blown away because at that time we hadn't had anything cool like this yet. Next up, now I've been focusing a lot on buying PS3 and 360 stuff because for one, the most of it right now is pretty affordable and cheap. So when people say, game collecting is expensive, I've said that before. It all depends on what you're looking for at the time. Like Nintendo stuff. I mean, hell, Nintendo stuff, even when it's, in the stores, like Switch stuff right now, it's all expensive. $80 for the controllers and stuff. Or whatever it is. I think it's $79.99 for some Joy-Cons. But I actually got this one in the mail. This is the game that I was waiting for to show up so that I could make the video because I wanted to make sure everything got here. And that is Guitar Hero Van Halen. So this is the promotional version in the sleeve. It was brand new when it got here, but I do intend to play it. So I sliced it up. And, it was brand new. So, I mean, it's not screwed up at all. And so now I have every Guitar Hero game. There's only 2 Rock Band games I need, which is 3. Which is expensive, so like I don't really care to have it, especially since I have Rock Band 4 on the Xbox One. And then I also need Green Day, which is probably not expensive, and I probably will find that one soon. But yeah, I love Guitar Hero. Guitar Hero, if it wasn't for this game series, even though they overkilled it with a lot of releases towards the end, if it wasn't for this game series, I never would have learned how to play guitar. Which is, amazing. I can play guitar pretty good. And I wouldn't have been in a band. I wouldn't have been able to express myself creatively on stage. So thank you, Guitar Hero, for that. Got this at a local GameSpot for like $5.99, I think. That's probably about how much it's worth. Dead Rising. I mean, this is, one of the bangers from the 360. I think it might have been a launch title. No, I know it was exclusive for 360, but this is a really sweet game, man. Made by the dude that made, Mega Man back in the day. Free roam. You're like trapped in a mall with a bunch of zombies. There's a lot of shit that you can do in this game. Like you can go to the record store in the mall and listen to songs. All kinds of stuff. It's really cool. Saints Row 2, really good soundtrack on this game. And I need to get a hold of Saints Row 1 because I would say 1 and 2 were actually really good, and then 3 and 4 just kind of got ridiculous. But this is a fantastic game. If you play 360, I highly recommend this game. And we got Left 4 Dead 2 here. Now, this is a Xbox 360 and PC kind of exclusive game. Mostly played this on PC. And you know what, Left 4 Dead 2, I haven't played as much as I played the first one. I like the first one more. Some of the stuff in this game is kind of annoying. I don't necessarily like the new infected that they put in the game, like the spitter and the jockey. But still a great game nonetheless. But I figured if I'm going to try to create like an all-killer, no-filler type of 360 collection for myself, I should probably have Left 4 Dead 1 and 2, so I still need to find Left 4 Dead 1. And this one doesn't have the manual, unfortunately. And I think I'm going to take it to the shop today and get it resurfaced because it's looking a little fucked up. You can't really tell on the screen, though. But yeah, it's a fun team-based game. I love playing versus mode in Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. But if you just play co-op campaign, it's still a great time. Here's a little old school Forza Motorsport 2 for you. Didn't play much of this one, but this one came out really early in the 360's life. Might have even been a launch title, I'm not certain. But look, man, it's still got the trial placard. I don't know what the fuck you call this thing. And it was never peeled off either. Like, it's still on there, so that's really cool. I didn't pay much for this. I think it was part of that Whatnot bundle. I think I paid like $3 or $4 for it. And I love $3 or $4 games, so. And you know what? Forza's great, man. I think 4 is probably my favorite, though. Motorsport 4. Motorsport 4. I can't speak today. First, I got another wrestling game, SmackDown vs. Raw 2011. Complete. Haven't played this one much. I did play 10 a lot. And then I went from 10 to 13. Which is coming up in a minute, actually. Guitar Hero Aerosmith. You know, one of the greatest bands from America of all time. Not my opinion, by the way. That's fact. I mean, when they were doing their final tours, it was like $300 to sit nosebleeds, man. It was insane. But, like I said, I've got all the Guitar Hero games, so you gotta have Aerosmith, and there's a lot of good songs on this game. Only thing negative I'll say about this one is it came out before they started doing the band gameplay on Guitar Hero games. So like you can only play guitar and bass on this game. You can't do the drums or the vocals. Well, actually, you might be able to do vocals. And then lastly, you got Guitar Hero 5. This came from a fan, actually. Like, I bought it from a fan, and he sold it to me really cheap, like $3. And it's complete. Now, it is a little scratched, but I'm going to take that up to the local shop and get it resurfaced. And, you know, it was only $3, so paying another $3 to get it resurfaced, to fix it, no problem at all. Also, he said that it worked like that. I'm just going to get it touched up a little bit anyways, just so it doesn't look so ugly. But there was a note inside when I bought it, which I thought was very awesome. He said, "Dear Steve, keep up with the amazing content. You make me laugh my ass off every video. Hope you enjoy the game." So that was really cool. And his name's CJ. So thanks, man, for the kind words. Really appreciate it. So when I make videos, you know, I do it mostly for myself because I think it's fun. But the fact that you guys love to watch it and have a good time too is an awesome side effect. So thank you so much for supporting the channel, man. I'll never get rid of that game, and I'll never get rid of that note. I'm keeping it, like I said, keeping it with the game. Maybe I'll forget that it's there in like 2 or 3 years and go back and I'll see it and be like, damn, man, what happened to my YouTube channel? Because it'll probably be failing in 3 years. All right, got one more stack of shit here. All PS3. So if you don't like PS3, man, you can get on out if you want. But we got some good stuff here. Did get a lot of good titles from GameStop. You know, I showed a couple already, but we got WWE 2K16 for $8. If you look up price charting on a couple of these wrestling games, man, they're saying they go for close to twice that, if not more. So shout out to GameStop for bringing the old school games back into the stores. And I'm definitely going to be supporting that because they're giving really good prices. So hell yeah, man. You know, usually the cover athlete is the one that they focus like their showcase campaign mode on. So this one goes through the career of Stone Cold. So obviously a lot of people that like wrestling like Stone Cold. So that was a great idea for them. And this is a pretty good game. 2K14. So another one sold for a decent price, $10. I think it goes for 15. This one is focused on all the WrestleManias. So all of the greatest matches from the Manias, it kind of goes through that, through the campaign. Another great roster. Of course, you got racist Hogan on the back there. Complete. I typically, if I go out in the wild and find a game, I don't buy it unless it is complete. But, you know, sometimes you do end up with some stuff that's not complete if you buy it online. WWE 13 next up. This one goes through the Attitude Era in the campaign. So that one, pretty damn sweet. Great roster, man. I think this was like one of the last ones that Ukes had anything to do with. You see their logo right there. Great game. I think I have damn near all of the wrestling games from modern times. And then, of course, I'll have to get some from the NES days and Super Nintendo. Next up, I actually like this game a lot. It's called PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. This is when Sony copied Nintendo with the Smash Bros. Concept. Except for Sony, every time that they copy Nintendo, they do it so lazily that it always ends up sucking. And then I don't know why they haven't learned that. I think the most successful thing they've copied from Nintendo is maybe joining the video game market in general, or PlayStation Move, but even that wasn't that successful. But this game is actually really sweet. You know, it has a pretty good roster on it. Of course, they could have done this a lot better. I think it only had 20 characters on it. But I mean, as you can see right there, you've got Sackboy. They got Nathan Drake on there. Kratos, Raiden from Metal Gear, Ratchet and Clank, got the dude from BioShock, Sly Cooper, Fat Princess, Parappa the Rapper. But you know, no Spyro, no Crash Bandicoot, which I thought was kind of whack. It does have Jak and Daxter on there though. But yeah, great game. I wish they'd make another one of these. Might actually be making a video soon, talking about if Xbox ever made a Smash Bros. Type of game. A lot of people would say, you know, the reason Xbox wouldn't do that is because most of their games are just shooting games. But they actually do have a lot of characters throughout their history that would totally work in a Smash Bros. Type of game. All right, next up, I bought this from a reseller in a Discord channel I'm in. Final Fantasy X and X-2 HD Remaster Collection. The artwork is kind of like screwed up with the, I think it was like water damage or something. But the disc is in great shape. And the little manual or insert thing is in great shape. Not a huge Final Fantasy fan, but I always end up buying the games when I collect because I want to be a part of the group. I want to enjoy them. So I bought this. And of course, I don't really care too much about this because when it sits on the shelf, you know, you're just going to see the spine. So if I never pull it off the shelf or if I do that one time to play it, then I'll notice and be like, oh, that sucks, you know. Or, you know, maybe I'll keep that copy until I find a better insert copy. But then we got 13-2. Now, I already own Final Fantasy 13, so I was like, you know, if I can get 13-2 for a good price, I need to add it. And this one is complete, too. In great shape. Never played it, but I'm always interested in playing new shit, so that's why I bought it, man. Plus, it's a great game, you know. Let's see, I have played Final Fantasy 3. I played some of 10 and 7, of course. But I do need to actually beat Final Fantasy 7 because I never have. All right, 2 more games. So we got WWE 12. Have never played this except for the Wii version, which is like always a bare bones version of any other game system. So, well, any other version of the game on a different game system. But it's complete, so I'll take it. And the final game, I've never beaten this game, but I've watched it entirely play through on YouTube because it's more like a movie, and that's Beyond Two Souls with Ellen Page, which I don't believe she or he goes by that name anymore. I'm just trying to show respect to whatever people want to do. And then Willem Dafoe, one of the greatest actors. You can't really refute that. But this game has a phenomenal story. I don't know if it came with a manual. It probably did. But I actually would like to play through this one. This is made by a company called Quantic Dream, and they made Heavy Rain, Indigo Prophecy, and Detroit Become Human, which in my opinion, all those games are fantastic. And it's one of my favorite video game companies that's around. It's kind of like if a choose your own adventure book was made into a video game, that's pretty much the type of stuff they make. But it's so cinematic and emotional that it just really, really drives you in and gets you invested in the characters. So, fantastic game. I can say that without playing it because I've played all their other games, and all their games control the same pretty much. But the storyline is so freaking good. Anyways, guys, that's all I have for this rendition of Pickups. If you guys like this type of stuff, make sure you leave me a comment, let me know, and I'll start doing stuff like this more often. Anyways, have a great weekend, man, or weekday whenever you're watching this, and catch you on the flip.